everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of Across America Good News Edition. My name is Pilar Arias. I am new to the Nexstar Digital team, and I am so happy to be here this week and next week for this show that brings you some of the best stories from our Nexstar TV stations across the country. I'm talking about a ton of feel-good stuff, right? People helping people, especially this week in the bitter cold that swept the nation. It's even been cold in the Southeast in Florida. I'm talking about life-saving donations, life-saving efforts, and some great giving back stories. We have it all for you. Let's get started. You can pretty much learn how to do anything on the internet, right? Well, take a look at what this creation that came about.
When there's snow in the forecast, some people shovel, while others play. Brandy Bishop of North Haven and the rest of her family have took things a step further, turning a snow day into a creative endeavor after coming across a create your own igloo tutorial online.
But it doesn't stay cold enough here, and I saw the forecast was like below freezing for a solid week, and I'm like, this is the time.
Stocking up for the storm, foil baking trays were among the family's snow prep grocery list, used to freeze blocks of ice along with a little bit of food dye for color.
So there's 3 layers of flat bricks that sort of goes at the foundation, and then you start standing them up and you alternate them so that they interlock.
Using a mixture of slush as a binder, over 400 ice blocks came together to form walls. The crew working through hours of extreme cold, wind, and snowfall to get it all done.
And so we were getting very nervous with the integrity of the blocks over our heads working, but a majority of them stayed. Once in a while we lost a few, but it stayed pretty well.
While one block of ice may not look like much, add a bunch of them together, stack them up, and with a little bit of patience, you end up with something like this.
Neon was one of the colors that we chose mostly because it shows up the best, but I just really wanted a variety of colors. So like when the light's shining through it, it's almost like stained glass.
It's a rainbow palace fit for an ice princess that's now become a frozen neighborhood attraction.
I love it because it's so colorful. I love how big it is.
It was hard work, but every time you stop and look at it, it's like, this thing is so pretty, it is so cool, that motivates you to keep going.
Turning a snow day into an unforgettable weekend. In North Haven, Caroline LECOUR, News 8.
I love it too, and if you're going to endure the cold, you might as well have some fun with it. Am I right? All right, well, some football players and cheerleaders proving that teamwork does not stop on the field. Over the weekend, they put down their helmets and pom-poms for shovels, helping neighbors dig out after a very heavy snowfall.
In Newton, football players and cheerleaders took the spirit of teamwork into their neighborhoods, grabbing shovels to help people dig out. Coaches tell me the idea turned into a big show of community.
Newton Junior Railers Football and Cheer Club is a youth sports organization, obviously focused on youth football and cheer. We start football first grade and go through 6th, and we start cheer in first grade and go through 8th.
The idea started simply, recognizing a need in the community.
I think we just truly recognize that sometimes our neighbors just need a hand. And it was actually our board member Trevor's idea. He just kind of came with it and said, hey, let's do it. So I made a post on social media, and you wouldn't believe the overwhelming response we received.
What followed was an overwhelming response.
We had probably, 20-ish kids, 15, 20 kids coming in, and then several adults as well.
And the work came with no strings attached.
It's just benefit for our community.
For coaches, the moment went beyond snow removal.
It's incredible to watch kids be willing to help out. I mean, they were getting nothing out of it. It was purely out of fun and out of care.
Neighbors noticed and appreciated it.
Everybody was super, super grateful.
One of the board members who helped spark the idea says it's about teaching kids to lead with empathy.
You don't know what your neighbor's struggle is. We don't really care. Give the grace that you hope you never need. That's kind of the way it needs to be.
Even in the cold, the kids kept going until they simply ran out of time.
But the kids did not care. I mean, they were out there. I think we worked for probably 2 hours on what we had, and then they were tapped.
They hope efforts like this will also push the community to come out to their games on Saturdays. They are free. Coaches say they hope efforts like this continue, showing the next generation that giving back can start right outside your own front door. Here for you, Jasmine ADOUS, KSN News 3.
All right. Well, what a great story there. We're going to bring you out to Florida, which just so happens to be where I am, for this story about members of a Marine Corps League spending one of their mornings building a new fence for a disabled veteran and his wife.
It's out with the old and in with the new.
We're building a fence for a disabled veteran, combat veteran Marine. He lost his leg in Afghanistan.
Tim Chandler of the Marine Corps League teamed up with the Home Depot to have this project that's been in the works for a year now finally come to life.
They came out and measured. I mean, this is like an $8,000 job. I mean, this is a huge fence. The lumber, the material, all that was donated by Home Depot.
Both Marine Corps League and Home Depot volunteers were up bright and early drilling and sawing to get the job done. Chandler says part of his mission in these improvement projects is wanting every veteran to feel the same brotherhood out of the military that they do in.
Whenever you're in, there's always somebody that has your back. And then when you come home and you have something, you know, like a fence falling apart, or you're having even, you know, like just a mental crisis or financial situation and nobody's there, it's devastating because it's not what you've been taught, trained, and learned.
Disabled veteran Daniel Gilliott, who was in Mobile Friday morning doing his own volunteer work, is so thankful towards the group to be coming home to a new fence.
I'm extremely grateful, and you know, having two fairly large-sized dogs and constantly trying to patch holes and fix rotted wood, it was a bit overwhelming. This creates a lot of freedom for us to not have to worry about our dogs going outside or other dogs getting into our yard, which has happened in the past. It's an overwhelming feeling.
The Marine Corps League helps with roughly 40 to 50 home improvement projects a year around the Northwest Florida area. In Navarre, Hannah O'Gara, WKRG News 5.
Staying out here in Florida, a teacher received a kidney donation after a nearly 8-year-long fight with kidney disease, but it is who donated that kidney to her that makes this story so very unique.
This is a story of faith. One woman answering the call to serve, and another holding on when it mattered most.
Love you all. I'm on my way in. Prayers. I firmly believe that God orchestrated the entire thing from beginning to end.
Pinecrest Elementary School teacher Mayra Nieves received a second chance at life December 22nd of last year, fighting nearly a decade of kidney disease. She received a kidney from a donor this past fall. Little did she know, a fellow teacher in the Hillsborough County Public School District would be her match.
It was definitely a God thing.
Jenna Fulkin says it all started one fall evening, tossing and turning in bed.
I grabbed my phone and started scrolling through social media, and I saw a post that Myra had posted needing a kidney. I saw she was O positive. I'm like, I'm O positive. And I thought I could do this.
And she proceeded to.
At 2 a.m, I got on the website and I'm filling out all the paperwork for TGH, organ donor.
Fulkin received a call from Tampa General Hospital letting her know Nieves was not in the system. She remembered the flyer said Nieves worked for the school district and sent her an email.
I wanted to remain anonymous, but God had other plans.
She wants to do it, but then is she going to be a match? Is this going to work out? You know, what if she's not a match?
However, Nieves' fears didn't last long.
If God opened this door, I needed to walk through with faith, knowing that God was going to provide. And that was the only thing that carried me through.
Fulkin has since returned to work, but Nieves hasn't just yet. Her students made sure to remind her she is missed and are awaiting her return. In Lithia, Victoria Lucas, 8 on your side.
That has to be one of my favorite stories this week to bring you for sure. Well, we are going to take a quick break. When we return, we're talking about Valentine's Day. We are talking about a teenager who decides, you know, her license, she doesn't want it to be for a car. She wants to take to the skies and plenty more. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back to Across America, Good News Edition. Again, my name is Pilar Arias. Happy to be here with you today for sure. Well, Valentine's Day, believe it or not, it is quickly approaching. And we usually remember, you know, our loved ones, our spouses, our family, our friends. But this next story I have for you is about thinking of sending Valentines to somebody you might not usually think of.
For the next several days, if you drive by either James Funeral Home or Chambers Funeral Home in Fallingsby or Wellsburg, West Virginia, you may catch a glimpse of a red bin on the front porch. That's there for Valentines to be collected and distributed throughout the tri-state area for our veterans and our troops. In the middle of winter, a little warmth is showing up in a simple way. Handwritten notes, crayon hearts, and messages meant to remind someone they're not forgotten.
The little messages like, we're here for you, we're supporting you, and the little hearts that are sideways and not the correct direction, but like flags on them and little soldiers and little messages that they write.
This tradition started back in 2013. About 2,000 Valentines are collected each year, and over time, that has added up to more than 27,000 cards sent across the Ohio Valley and beyond. Those small details are what make each card personal and why the tradition continues year after year, especially during the coldest months.
It's kind of a threefold project. It boosts our spirits here, as well as we know from the thank you cards that we get back from the troops and from the veterans of how much this means to them.
All it takes to be a part is a simple message and a little bit of time. Instead of focusing on only the holidays, this effort brings encouragement during a quieter time of year when a little extra kindness can go a long way.
We started to figure out something to do in this cold weather to kind of warm the hearts. We thought about care packages at Christmas time, but it seems like everybody focuses on veterans and soldiers during the Christmas season, and this is just that springtime boost to say, here's love from our community that we can share with you.
These Valentines will go out across the tri-state area. If anyone is interested in donating Valentines, they can find more information on our website, WTRF.com. Reporting in Fallingsby, West Virginia, I'm Alex Taylor.
A lot of teens, you know, they turn 16 and they are looking to get behind the wheel of a car. But in Texas, one 17-year-old, her eyes are on the sky. Tobin Smith introducing us to Rebecca Mansour, who just achieved her dream of becoming a licensed pilot.
While most teens usually get excited over their first car, this teen has a different mode of transportation in mind.
So I'm 17 and I'm in high school. I'm a senior right now at Wiley, and I just got my private pilot's license.
As Rebecca Mansour performs a walk-around check on her rented Cessna 172, she reflects on the effort it took to bring her aspirations to life.
Working hard and knowing that I had to make it happen if I wanted it to happen, you know, so just pushing myself and studying and maybe doing a little more than other people had to, just to make sure I got what I wanted to do.
Honestly, I'm more concerned when she goes driving at night than when she flies in the airplane.
While most parents would be a little hesitant to let their child fly an aircraft, Rebecca's father, Kawhi Mansour, who is also a pilot, says it makes him proud to see his daughter soar.
The reason why I was so proud of her is because I know how over-prepared she was and how well she nailed the check ride. And the instructor was just very, very impressed. It was not even a question of if she was qualified.
While she does have her official pilot's license, she says that there is one more step to make her status official for her.
I feel like once I take up my first passenger, that'll be like the most surreal feeling, and it'll feel really real.
The passenger she's chosen? None other than her inspiration, her dad.
I can't wait. Looking forward to some good weather so we can get up in the air.
For BigCountryHomepage.com, I'm Tobin Smith.
Such a good story there for sure. Thank you so much for that. Well, a heartwarming story out of Southern California where a local police officer saved a choking baby and is now being recognized for his heroism.
Okay. Behind the scenes of a harrowing 911 call.
Take a deep breath and know that no matter what, you're there for a reason.
Corporal Gregory Cates with the City of Orange Police Department is behind the wheel when he gets word from a frantic mother whose baby has swallowed a hair clip and isn't breathing. Adrenaline flowing, the father of two leaned into his training, flipped the 7-month onto her stomach, and started the Heimlich maneuver. After a few tense moments, the baby girl is resuscitated. Whatever was lodged inside her throat emerged, and she was rushed to the hospital where she later had a special visitor, the very man who saved her life.
Being a parent myself, there are those situations and you can't put yourself to blame for any of those reasons. It's an emotional time. It was a huge adrenaline dump for me afterwards.
Inside City Council chambers Tuesday night, Corporal Cates got a standing O for his ability to stay calm in the midst of chaos.
The life-saving medal is awarded to members of the department who, while acting in an official capacity, distinguished themselves through courageous and selfless acts that result in the preservation of life.
Cates says his own family was very much on his mind as he supported another family during one of the worst moments of their lives.
It's a little overwhelming. I feel like myself and any of my partners that are out there were doing our job, and I don't think anyone working here would have done anything differently.
It's okay.
The body camera video there showing that rescue, dramatic, but in a good way, a life-saving event happening there in Southern California, the city of Orange, matter of fact. Okay, we are going to take another quick break, but don't go anywhere because we've got more feel-good stories on Across America Good News Edition when we return. Everybody, well, a blind sailor who lost his sight at the age of 13. Well, he is trying to do something that has never been done before. A solo sail between San Diego and Japan.
Hiro Iwamoto started losing his sight when he was just 13, but that hasn't stopped the sailor from reaching his goals and pushing the limits of what's possible.
Don't limit yourself, Let's make impossible possible together.
That's the motto of Hiro Iwamoto, a San Diego-based sailor who's planning to do what's never been done before, a solo sail between San Diego and Japan, completely blind.
He first attempted this in 2013, and we're talking totally visually impaired, can't see a thing.
The first attempt was short-lived.
6 days into the 2013 trip, you hit a whale.
But Hiro was determined, and with the help of a guide, he completed a trans-Pacific voyage in 2019. After losing his sight at the age of 13, Iwamoto says he's consistently chosen challenge as his path forward, sailing through barriers. Now he's setting out to achieve new goals, planning to end his next trans-Pacific journey in his hometown in Japan.
I want to do this by myself, and I talked to the project manager here, and let's do it, because of you cannot see, it doesn't mean, you cannot do this.
To accomplish his goal, he's relying on his other senses.
I feel more senses than, sight. So I feel the wind, and wind on the cheek, and the sunlight, and the sun warmness.
He also uses a number of different gadgets, such as an app called Lena that converts data to voice.
Lena, wind speed true.
Wind speed true 14 knots. And a camera on the boat, sending data through Starlink.
So that anyone can see on the land what's going on and what kind of action I'm taking.
On Tuesday, a surprise Challenged Athletes Foundation grant from sailing legend Malin Burnham was given to support Iwamoto's journey.
There is no limit for Hiro. Hiro can do whatever he wants.
Hiro plans to do a non-stop, solo, trans-Pacific journey in the spring of 2027. Reporting from Point Loma, Delaney White, back to you.
What a goal. What a challenge. And he is up for it. Such a good story there. Okay, well, this next story. You may have seen this game in the 2018 Hollywood hit or blockbuster, so to speak, Crazy Rich Asians. I'm talking about Mahjong. Well, it's certainly arrived here in the United States. I know my own sister got a Mahjong set for Christmas. So now Bill Wood is showing us how those living in a parish in Louisiana can go to a library to learn the game and play it together.
This game came to the United States in the 1920s, about the same time as the dance, the Charleston.
6 bam.
Yes, you do the dance, the Charleston.
3 down.
when you sit at the table for what's kind of like cards, but with no cards.
Instead of hearts, diamonds, and spades, we have dots, cracks, and bams.
And there's a joker?
There is a joker. I have one joker.
Explain, oh man, you're asking probably the wrong person.
The right person is right over here. Diane Schlefstein, a retired Louisiana computer programmer.
Red dragon goes with your hot firecrackers. Green dragon goes with green growing bamboo. And this looks like an old-fashioned bar of soap. Then you're going to pass 3 tiles to the person on your left.
Diane's got all the right moves to teach Mahjong.
I'll have people who've never played before playing.
3 dots.
It's the game she never liked, until she inherited Mahjong sets from her mom and her mother-in-law.
East.
Basically, you were born to be here.
It was a way to get together with other people.
Lonely times led you to Mahjong.
Yes, sort of.
4 bam.
Loneliness gets left behind.
4 crack.
At the Jefferson Parish Main Library in Metairie.
Green.
At Mahjong class. Was it hard to learn?
Yes, I was slow to pick it up.
I don't believe that. Instead of cards, you have all these little tiles, 166 of them, with characters and symbols from China. That's where Mahjong started back in the 19th century. It's a pretty game.
It's beautiful. Oh, beautiful, and it sounds real good.
Sounds sort of like a flock of birds. So the folks who first played named it Mahjong, the Chinese word for sparrow. Where are the Mahjong men?
They're probably playing poker.
You came, you conquered, you got the t-shirt.
Mahjong!
She's got the shirt and the point.
Flower, can I have your joker, please?
That whoever gets 14 tiles
And that gives me Mahjong.
with 4 sets and 1 pair wins.
7 dot.
And what is it you say when you win?
Mahjong!
Bill Wood,
Mahjong! Mahjong!
WGNO News.
Mahjong. There was so much good in that story. I think I really liked where they were talking about the tile that looked like an old school bar of soap, old fashioned. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Across America, Good News Edition. I will see you all again next week. Happy to be here, and I'll see you again real soon. Take care.